Welcome to episode 7 of Transition Takes, the show that has to record this episode twice due to our lackluster producer. Thank you for tuning in. If you end up enjoying the show, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell. I would like to thank the sponsor of today's episode, DUBBY. Ouch, don't my can. Today we're drinking Galaxy Grenade. It's my favorite flavor, and if you would like to try this amazing flavor, you can use code XMASON at checkout for 10% off your order. Devin, how's your life?
It's good. Next week starting a new job. Just got a new car the other day.
What kind of car is it?
Kia 2020 Kia Forte. And then I got hacked. And it showed that in I think your most recent video.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I even captioned it for you.
I know. Yeah,
I was gonna put the account number, but I didn't want to do that dirty.
Might as well, dude. Everybody else knows it. Just throw it out there.
How much they get you for?
So it was $150, but 100 of it was vetoed right away, and then the other 50 I got within the next few days.
That's
but
good.
The new hoop shoes I got double charged for, so I didn't get that back for a few days.
What kind of shoes did you get?
Sabrina ones. I heard they feel like Kobe's. He knows.
That's good. That's very good. What color are they?
Just white, mainly white, a little bit of black.
Nice. Are we gonna see those in our next game or what?
Yeah, I wish we could have done it on Sunday, but
dude,
Tom, God damn it, Tom,
dude.
I hope you to watch this, Tom.
I hope Tom watches it too. If the podcast reaches his lowly self, that means we have a lot of views. I have a bold take about today's episode.
What is that?
I think that today is gonna be the most creative episode that we've ever done.
I think I have to agree after what happened.
Without further ado, let's get into some sports. We're going to talk a little conference finals recap, starting with the Celtics and Pacers. As a preliminary measure, I want to let everyone know that these questions will not take very long. Nobody's very interested in the Celtics or the Pacers. So, Devin, I ask you, are the Celtics this good, or has the competition been that bad?
I think the Celtics are just this good. Yeah, they've had, outside of the Pacers, they've basically handled the other two teams. They did what they're supposed to. They're going back to the finals, but it was a little messy, almost losing to Pacers twice with no Halliburton.
They should have lost him the first game,
Yeah,
too.
I would be scared as a Celtics fan, but I do think they're just this good. They've been this good all season. They might have close games that they shouldn't have, but they end up winning in the end. So
their roster is certainly that good.
Yeah.
Your fear as a Celtics fan is if you have close games with a team like that, what happens when you play an elite team?
Because it's just ISO basketball, 5 out.
Yeah, they're 5 out, which originally we were going to talk about a little bit, but this is the second time we're recording this one. Initially, we recorded the day before Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. Now we're recording as it happens. And currently, the Mavs are dominating the Wolves.
Luka and Kyrie are outscoring the Wolves at halftime.
By themselves.
Yeah.
So it's pretty safe to say that we're going to get Mavs Celtics. So at least one of us had one correct team in the finals since I said Mavs. I'm just saying, we're a team at the end of the day. So at least we're not like Stephen A. where he picked the wrong finals 12 years in a row or some crazy crap.
I just didn't want to be boring and say the Celtics, honestly.
Yeah, well, neither did I. Irregardless, we'll talk more Mavs versus Celtics next week because we'll have an episode out before Game 1. To me, the competition has been not only bad but hurt. The best player on each of the three teams they've faced has gotten hurt either before or during the series. That includes Jimmy Butler, Donovan Mitchell, and Jarrett Allen, and Tyrese Halliburton most recently. Against the Pacers without Halliburton in games 3 and 4, they struggled to put the Pacers away and were actually losing by 9 with 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
So you play who's in front of you, but I'm certainly not impressed.
I agree.
We're going to move on to, should the Pacers fans be excited for the future?
I would be. It's a little fluky, it seems like that Hawks run from a few years ago, but if they lost in the second round, I wouldn't be excited, but watching how good they played the Celtics, they could be very well heading to the finals almost without Halliburton. I'd be excited just because the East is weak anyways. Even when the Bucks were healthy in the regular season, they had their number. They played good against the Celtics. The Knicks have Tom Thibodeau, so are they going to be healthy ever? Are the Heat ever going to be healthy?
Probably not.
Yeah, so they could be the next team in the East, and their young players will get better.
The thing you got to worry about as a Pacers fan is, will you ever even make it this far again? Considering In the East, Giannis was hurt, Lillard was hurt, Brunson was hurt, Hart was hurt, Anunoby was hurt, Porzingis is hurt, and the best they got was being swept in the conference finals. Plus, Philly has 2 match slots, so you'd assume Philly's going to be better. The Knicks might be better depending on what they add. The Celtics probably can't get any better. The Heat may be better. So I wouldn't be very excited. It'd be more of a like, I know that that's our ceiling more than likely unless we do something drastic to improve the team.
Yeah.
Which they could. Pascal and Halliburton are 2 match players.
Yeah,
so
but outside of that, they don't really have money tied up. Benedict's still on a rookie contract. Nemhard is.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of contract Turner's on.
Oh yeah, he just signed. I think he's making $30 a year.
All right, again, quick. Honestly, you're just welcome that we talked about him at all. We're going to move on to a question that's been very popular ever since my mortal enemy, Stan Van Gundy, brought it up. Are Luka and Kyrie the best offensive backcourt in NBA history? During the telecast today, he was trying to walk it back and talk crap to the inside NBA crew. Because Inside NBA has been poking fun at him because they think it's such a ridiculous claim that they're the best. And all of a sudden now Stan is saying most talented. Which obviously there's a difference between best and most talented. I think they are the most talented.
Offensive?
Right.
Yeah. Easily.
I don't think they are the best. But just like Stan, my good old friend who thought it was a good idea to play players 48 minutes a game, just like him to walk back something he said, because he did not initially say most talented. He said best.
Best offensive, yeah.
So I would agree with most talented offensively. I would not agree with best. To me, that's Clay and Steph due to the heights that they were able to reach together.
Yeah, I agree. Luka, Kyrie, just offensively gifted, talented, them best of all time. But this is their first year, really full year together, and they're making the finals. Now, if they do this 1-2 more times, maybe they are the best.
They could definitely be in the conversation.
But right now, I agree. Most talented, yeah.
I think just with one title, they end up being probably the second or third best.
I think they might already be.
Yeah. There's not a lot of backcourts in NBA history that would outscore an entire team by themselves in an elimination game on the road. That's pretty impressive. This segment was originally a lot longer. There was 3 questions in here, but again, thanks to the person who shall not be named, kind of got cut down a little bit. So we're going to move on to talking about Dak Prescott and where we rank him in the NFL. We've talked about Dak a few different times on this podcast. We've kind of tiptoed around the actual question. We did the would you rather. I went into depth on their offseason and the fact that he hasn't been signed yet. And now we're just gonna put it in the sand on what we actually think. And what I actually think is I have him at 5 or 6. Which one did I say?
You said 5.
I said 5.
Yeah.
All right, I have him at 5. I think you can make arguments, which I'm going to attempt to do, that he's as high as number 2, and I won't listen to any argument that says he's lower than 8. Those are my opinions.
Okay.
But I put my flag in the sand at he's number 5. So I looked long and hard, and the arguable ones that I came up with for like worst case he's 8 is Stafford, Jackson, Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Herbert, and Stroud. Like I said, I can make a valid argument that he's as high as 2. The only quarterback in the league that is 1,000% definitely better than Dak is Mahomes, because Mahomes is better than absolutely everyone. So I'm just going to run quickly down the list. First, I have Herbert. Really, outside of just the fact that he's talented, he hasn't shown that he's better than Dak. His regular season numbers aren't better than Dak. His playoff performance was not better than Dak's. He has the worst blown lead in playoffs history. They both, at the beginning of their career, dealt with nepotism at the head coach with Garrett and Staley. So, like I said, I'm going to make these short and sweet. So there's Herbert. Stroud simply hasn't played enough. That's the only argument I have against Stroud. If he continues doing what he did last year and builds on it, then Stroud is going to be kind of cemented as better. But he just hasn't done it yet. Burrow, once again, Dak's regular season numbers are far better. Burrow's an injury-prone player. In Burrow's one deep playoff run, he was carried by the defense against the Raiders. They needed a last-second interception, which is obviously defense. Titans, his defense caused like 4 interceptions, and his offense still only put up like 18 points. His playoffs numbers aren't great either, which this may surprise you. In the playoffs, he only has a 94 rating with 9 touchdowns and 4 interceptions.
Yeah, but...
And the game against the Chiefs as well, the defense is what won them that game as well.
The thing with Burrow is I have him over Dak because of... It's also the clutch thing in the playoffs. There's, I think, very few quarterbacks that 2 minutes left on the clock. If this guy has the ball in his hand, you're losing that game. Just chalk it up as a loss. And I think Burrow's in that category.
I would agree with you. And to be exact, I do have Burrow as better than Dak.
I would just saying there's arguments. I was playing devil's advocate.
Yeah. So Stafford, I actually think it's harder to argue Dak over Stafford than Dak over Burrow simply because
Stafford puts up a lot of numbers.
Right. Stafford has the same amount of numbers as Dak does.
The 2 best receiver seasons of all time, too.
Yeah, that's true. For me, the only thing for Stafford is he's more turnover prone, and at this point, he's more injury prone. And before he got McVay, he wasn't at this level, and Dak's never had his McVay.
He's also never been on the Lions.
That's true. That is very true. Look at that, dude. Our producer continues to kill it. All right, next we have Lamar Jackson. There will be a common theme on this show that I'm not a huge fan of running quarterbacks. I find it very interesting that your quarterback's worst trait is his throwing. I just don't understand that logic. Lamar has worse playoff performances than Dak. His team lost in the playoffs, and everybody said they would have been better off if he didn't throw as much, which, again, interesting. 2-time MVP. You don't want him to throw the ball. He's probably not that great of a quarterback.
Do you have him below Dak?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Apparently I'm just a Ravens hater because when we did that question about most surprising team, I had them the most surprising in a negative way.
Well, maybe because Lamar.
Probably. The team continues to draft wide receivers in the first round, and like none of them work out.
I think they just try to draft Tyreek Hill in the first round.
Yeah,
that's all they
which
do.
is interesting because
it's not a normal thing.
Yeah, it's just in a world where most first round picks end up working out. I find it funny that almost none of Lamar's do,
unless it's a defender for the Ravens.
Right. Yeah. And every year that the Ravens have made the playoffs under Lamar, their lowest scoring game of the year happened in the playoffs. So he's a playoff underperformer.
Yeah, that's a crazy stat. Like you told me that stat, I didn't think about that.
It's pretty insane. And now we have last but not least Josh Allen. Josh is a turnover machine. He has playoff stinkers just like Dak. I think his upside is higher than Dak's, but his low side's also lower. Josh is another one playoffs wise. Since they lost to the Chiefs a few years ago, the teams they've beaten in the playoffs have been quarterbacked by Mason Rudolph most recently, Skylar Thompson, and Mac Jones. Like,
that's very bad.
Congratulations, because I'm pretty sure Devin could go out there and beat them too.
Oh, no, I know I can.
So to put my flag in the sand, I have Dak at 5. I would put Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, and Stroud. I would say it. And then I'd put Dak at 5. I can just make the argument that Dak's better than
Is that
Stroud.
in order?
Yeah, that's in order.
Okay. For me, I have Dak at 8. Like you said, that's the lowest he can go.
It's Mahomes, Burrow, Allen. Sorry.
You said that.
I did say that? Okay.
Do you want me to put mine in order? That?
Yeah, you go, girl.
I have Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Herbert, Stroud, Lamar, Stafford, and then I have Dak. And then, just to round it out, I'm assuming these names, if you want to cheat off this, what's the rest of your top 10 look like? So you have your top 5. What's the last 5? If you want to look at these names.
Well, I had him 8, so I can... 8. So, Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Stroud, Dak, Stafford, Herbert, Lamar.
And then these are like those next tier guys.
Kyler
at 9?
And then Hurts. Okay. I really don't like Hurts. Let's go Goff. Let's go Goff there.
Go one of those two names.
Yeah, we'll go Goff there.
Yeah.
And then Love will be 11.
Love could be.
And then Hurts is 12.
Yeah, I like that.
And then Purdy is 19. Just throw him somewhere back
just
there.
Throw him randomly. Yeah, it's a pretty good. You have the right guys. We just have different orders, but we probably have the same 10.
Right. I was gonna put Hurts, but I just can't do it. He's a running back. Done it. He's a running back.
So as far as those, you said the running quarterbacks. Who's in that tier for you? Is it just Hurts and Lamar?
Anthony Richardson might end up being, but we haven't seen enough out of him.
From what we saw from him last year, that little bit, he made throws that you can't make as a running back.
I would say that. Well,
we'll see with him.
Allen is a running quarterback,
yeah, but he has the arm strength and talent.
Right. I think those are really the only two that are like running quarterbacks.
They're running quarterbacks, and their biggest weakness is
throwing the ball. Yeah.
Okay.
Those are probably the only two. Maybe right now Fields, but Fields isn't a starter.
Right now, yeah.
Well, he should be a starter because Russell Wilson sucks. Sorry, Brandon, but he's awful.
Dude, if Russell, I hated him, but he was so fun to watch in Seattle. I hated going against him because I'm a Cardinals fan, but
when he was in Seattle, he was good. It's as soon as his last year in Seattle, he wasn't great. And his 2 years in Denver.
Would you say he's an all-timer?
No.
In Seattle?
In Seattle, yeah. They need to put him in their Ring of Honor.
Okay.
But I don't think Russell's a Hall of Famer right now.
He has one ring or two?
Just one.
Just one, okay.
They went to two. They lost the second one.
Yeah, the Malcolm Butler.
Yeah. They got Malcolm Butler. Not so easy, Malcolm Butler. All right, we're going to move on. We're going to preview just a little bit of the NBA Finals. We'll get way more into that next week's show, so make sure to tune into that. If Boston loses the Finals, who will be the most to blame?
Barring somebody just absolutely choking and playing horrendous, Joe Mazzulla. You can't have 5 all-star type of players, all-star role players, this great team, all the defense, everything, to lose. And I think the only other person that gets blamed is Tatum. Because he would probably be the one to have the bad series. You can't have your best player on the team play bad and expect to win. But I think it would just be Mazzulla because all he does is 5 out, let's shoot threes, and then let's just play defense with our cracked defenders.
So this is obviously a world where Boston loses. I think the person who would get the most blame is Tatum because I think the only way that they lose is if Tatum gets vastly outperformed by Luka.
He will.
We'll talk about that more later. So I think it would be Tatum, but it probably should be the coach. And I think depending on how the series goes, depending on how they lose, I'd probably fire him.
I don't think they will. I think they get swept and he won't get.
Yeah, fired. I don't think they would. It's hard to fire a coach when you're in the finals, but when you've made 6 of 8 Eastern Conference Finals and you have no rings to show for it, it's every offseason you have to make big moves to try to get back over the hump. In my opinion,
offseason, make huge moves. Porzingis, Drew.
Yep. And if that doesn't get them there, what will?
Nothing.
All right, we're gonna move on to a fun segment I came up with while I was in the shower. It is called.
You did it in the shower?
Yeah. It is. I'm always on, man. I'm always thinking transition.
Got it.
So this segment is called Dr. Dev. I'm gonna list NBA and NFL players, and Dr. Dev is gonna tell me their diagnosis and the cure for their disease. Dr. Dev, my first patient I have for you, his name is Carl Anthony Towns.
Carl Anthony Towns has been diagnosed with Fowling syndrome.
Fowling syndrome.
And he's addicted. Now it's an addictive thing.
It's an addicted.
Yes.
Okay.
So he's addicted to hitting grown men on the wrists and pushing them on offense.
That sounds like Cat. I think I've seen that happen once or twice.
Maybe a few more times.
Per quarter.
Yeah. That's it. That's his syndrome or his diagnosis.
And what's the cure?
Start Nas Reed and bench Cat.
You're a huge Nas guy.
But, I mean, it's effective. He's a better player right now.
Nas is really good. Cat did have a good game 4. And he actually was playing well in game 5. I mean, when the last I had it on. But when your team's down by 30...
Is there any update, Alex, on that game? Or is it still 30?
Let's see.
Well, while we're waiting for that, yeah, that's just... Cat will still foul just as much, but he won't have the opportunity to do it as much.
It is 87 to 60 with 5 minutes left in the third.
87.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's over.
So they've closed the gap by 2, but there's 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's over.
All right, Dr. Dev, we have our next patient. His name is Aaron Rodgers. What is your diagnosis?
Fragile. Just a singular word.
He's fragile.
Yes.
And what's the cure for being fragile?
Steroids.
Steroids.
Am I wrong?
I mean, maybe not.
If you just take steroids, I think it'll be okay.
As your nurse, I have a diagnosis for Aaron as well.
Okay, what's that diagnosis?
My diagnosis for him is wandering eye syndrome.
What's
I don't think he actually wants to be an NFL quarterback anymore. I think he wants to be a politician. He was gonna run for vice president for JFK. He's on podcasts all the time talking about politics and all that sort of stuff, which more power to him. I think the cure is one more year of mediocre football leading to being the future governor of California.
Do you think the Jets will just not be a playoff team again?
I think in the NFC they would be. The AFC is just too stacked. Okay. The AFC is really, really good. And I don't foresee the... Alex, please stop laughing. You're going to drive me insane. I don't foresee the O-line staying healthy. And unfortunately, I don't foresee Aaron staying healthy either.
I hope he stays healthy.
I hope he does. I'm not saying I think he's gonna be out for the year or anything, but miss a game here because right. So that's my diagnosis of Aaron.
Okay.
The next patient coming in is Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler. What? There my notes went. So he is diagnosed with caffeine consumer.
So you actually. When we did Whodunit, you did think he faked the injury to run his coffee business.
No, I didn't.
But you just kind of admitted it.
No, but that's just what he's addicted to. He's addicted to coffee.
Addicted to coffee. What's the cure for this addiction?
Get a new hobby. Stop drinking as much coffee.
And what will this result in?
Really good basketball.
Really good
for more than 50 games a year.
Dude, he's a grinder, man. The fact that he did that coffee thing in the bubble is one of the funniest stories.
Dude, $100 a cup.
And he allegedly railed Rachel Nichols.
Oh my god, dude, that was so funny.
What a
when that came out, that was so funny. Bro, around every playoffs, there's somebody new that it's with him.
Because he's a savage.
I don't remember all of them, but it's so funny.
He's an absolute savage. Our next patient, we had to actually get new doors installed for him to be able to fit in here. It is Rudy Gobert.
He has the Gogurt syndrome.
The Gogurt syndrome. Yeah. What is that?
Or also known as fake syndrome.
Fake? Like fake tough guy?
No, just fake.
Oh, he's just fake
syndrome.
Okay.
You want to know the cure?
What's the cure?
Take away that goddamn award. He does not deserve it. You cannot go out there and get targeted in a playoff game as the defensive player of the year.
Not even only by the best player.
But everybody. Jaden Hardy subbed
Yeah, it was Hardy. Luka was like, no, man, I don't want the ball back.
Luka was tired. He's like, bro, you have Gobert on you. Go ahead. That's just the defensive player of the year.
The worst part is it worked.
Yeah.
And he took him to the paint.
Yeah, he took him in, got him up, pump fake, drew a foul.
Crazy.
Now, to make the cure even better, it's going to it's going to Victor Wembanyama or Bam Adebayo. I don't care who, but they will not get targeted by Luka in a playoff game. Yikes. With the game on the line.
I have a diagnosis for Rudy Gobert too, but I don't have the cure.
Well, what's the diagnosis?
Most hated disease.
Everybody
seems to just hate him. Like, it's like personal.
They're not just
trying to score on him. It's like funny to them. What's the cure?
The cure is the same as what I said. Okay. If he doesn't get awards, nobody will care.
I guess that's
He'll just be a shot blocking big man.
Look at that. We figured something out. All right, good thing we raised the doors because now our next patient is pretty tall as well. His name's Joel Embiid.
He has flopping Freddy syndrome.
Flopping Freddy. All right, dude. What does that mean?
It means he likes to. There's something on the floor. There might be crack on the floor that he's just addicted to.
Oh my god!
I don't know what it could be. There's something down there on the NBA
I heard that one of his trainers or assistants or something taught him to do that because it's better for his weight to fall on the floor evenly distributed than to come down on his legs over and over again at his size. It's supposed to help him not get injured.
Well, how's that going?
Not very well. They need to just start. He's not allowed to play until after All-Star break, is what I think.
Oh, okay, like you said.
Yeah, I genuinely believe that. Well, I think that's the only way that
he needs his 65 games.
Yeah, I know.
And the cure to this, Embiid, I got you. Stop. I promise you, it'll work.
It'll work out.
You'll play more games. Your team will probably win more in the playoffs. He gets injured in the first round the past like 3 years.
Yeah.
I think it'll work.
And even more power to him. He usually plays through it, but he's not the same player.
Yeah.
I think this round against the Knicks was like one of his best playoff series.
Which was crazy.
Yeah.
But it's also because Maxey, I think.
Yeah, Maxey's really good.
Maxey takes away a lot of the attention.
I want them to get Paul George or Kevin Durant so
I don't.
badly. I do.
I want the Heat to go to the finals.
Even if they get there, they'll just get railed by the Western team again.
Well, it depends what the offseason looks like, but yeah, probably.
All right, now we're going to go back to the NFL, our NFL wing here, and we're going to try to treat Dak Prescott. What is his illness?
Jerry Jones.
That's so real.
Just Jerry Jones, that's it.
I wish we could have gotten my original reaction to that. That is so true. I've said it for a while, and last year I got really excited about this team, and I shouldn't have.
You're done with it now?
Oh, yeah. They until Jerry Jones dies or retires, which unfortunately to me I think are one and the same.
That's the cure. New owner.
Yeah,
so that's probably what you said.
And there was this story. It's a Cowboys lore story that says that Jerry, they won back to back, and then he fired Jimmy Johnson, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he looked up to the sky and he said, "God, if you give me one more Super Bowl, I'll never ask for another one again. I just
Jones?
Yeah, I just want this one Super Bowl without Jimmy to prove to everyone that it was me and not him."
Yeah.
Which you won it with his players, dipshit. So it doesn't matter. But irregardless, they haven't won since. And there's some when you watch some of the ways they've lost in the playoffs, it's insane. The number one example I can think of is 2016 against the Packers. Mason Crosby kicks a field goal, and this upright, the ball is traveling that way, right? In a dome, this ball says, yeah, JK, and curves back in. Makes no sense. I think it was Jesus.
I mean, he asked for it.
He did, but I didn't. All right, we're moving on. We can lower the doors for this one. Kyler Murray is in the doctor's office, and he needs to be diagnosed and cured. What do you say?
Short is the diagnosis.
And his cure?
He's not short when it comes to normal human beings, but when it comes to being an NFL quarterback, he's short.
He's shorter than you.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's definitely shorter than Alex.
He's about as tall as you.
Okay.
Maybe a little taller, I'm not sure. And the cure is going to be take Josh Allen's legs.
And what's the result of that cure?
Probably being the best of all time.
Kyler's really good for his size.
But just make him 6'5". He'll be better than anybody of all time.
That's probably true because he's really accurate and he's really, really... Would he still be as like nimble if he was that tall? Yeah, he would. Okay, fair enough. All right, that was fun. Dr. Dev, you can go on hiatus. We'll talk to you later, though.
All right, sounds good.
We are now going to talk about the Coochietown NBA 2K24 Rec Award predictions. That was a mouthful.
Dude, when we play, I don't realize how crazy our name is. It is so crazy. Like the full name too.
The Coochietown Crabs.
It's so crazy.
What's crazier is on my stream for the longest time, I had the banner that said Coochietown Crabs. So they went on all of my YouTube videos too. And without any context, they're like,
what is that mean?
What is that? All right, in a little bit, we're going to have Alex on here as well. He's going to give his award predictions. So we're going to start off with Most Improved Player, which I'm voting based on the last time I played, which was 2K22. And my vote is for Ricky, because in 2K22, he was kind of an average player. And this year, in my opinion, he's the clear-cut second best player. And that's a pretty wide jump. So I have Most Improved as Ricky.
You didn't play last year, but dude... Brandon was very hard to play with in that game.
He's hard to play with now. I do easy, Brandon. I do easy. I know you're watching.
You would think he's like LeBron now.
Oh, wow.
He was like, he'd be the worst player on our team currently.
Worse than Ethan?
Yes. He couldn't
shoot. Was it like just shooting or was it everything?
He did the same stupid shit. Sorry for cussing. Same stupid stuff. But his 3-point, he probably shot under 40% from 3.
Jeez.
He was still the same everything else, but it was just hard.
His shooting,
he had weeks where he was really good, but other than that, he was pretty bad. And this year, he's not horrible, so I'll just give it to him.
We got Brandon.
I feel like a lot of our players got either stayed the same or just got worse.
Huh.
Yeah.
Not too easy. Okay. Next, we have 6th man of the year. And this qualifies as essentially the 2 players who didn't play the most, since there's 7 people in the squad, quote unquote. The 5 of us who play the most, and then the 2 who don't. The 2 who don't are Chase and Alex. So, Devin, who are you giving the award to?
I'm giving it to Alex because the versatility. He has 3 builds, a lock, a scoring true power forward, and then a center with.
He's the only true power forward on the team.
And then a center with 92 pass ac.
61 interior defense, though.
And I do believe Alex is our most talented shooter. With how low his ratings are, he still shoots 40% from 3. So I'll give it to Alex just because of versatility and the skill from shooting. And he fits in with every lineup because he doesn't need the ball.
Yeah. To me, and also, unlike, no offense, Brandon, he doesn't demand the ball either. And when you pass it to him, he doesn't lie to himself about what his build is. He doesn't try to ISO people on a small forward, or his case, power forward, Brandon's small forward. You should stop doing that. It doesn't work. You don't have the ball handle for it. Sorry, bud. I hate to break it to you. It usually ends up in a turnover. Sorry, not sorry. Alex isn't like that. I'm highly disappointed that Alex didn't play more this year because I think he would have been probably the 3rd best. I have you as the 3rd best player. He probably would have been right there with you fighting for the 3rd best player. And he just decided not to play, and it makes me really sad.
What game did he decide to play?
All for MLB The Show. You notice I will talk about soccer on this podcast before I talk baseball. It's the most boring sport in the world. Like, I can go to a ball game, hot dogs and peanuts or whatever they do. I get that. But it is such a boring... Devin, I once fell asleep in the middle of a World Series game.
Yeah, during this World Series, because the Diamondbacks, that's like the team I support, I guess.
I didn't watch a single game.
I turned it on at the end of the game because if it was interesting, but I didn't really pay attention. It's something if I do watch it, it's only playoffs, only Diamondbacks, and it's something I put on the side.
It's so boring, man. I just there's so little action, and the fact that I played an MLB The Show game the other night. And after the 4th inning, I was like, dude, is this over yet?
Yeah, but you played, with the play now teams.
Yeah. That's what I was just trying to practice.
Yeah. The Diamond Dynasty, with, you get your own teams, you can hit nukes.
I did hit a few nukes. I hit a grand slam. You would have been proud of me. I hit it with Mookie Betts.
Dude, Mookie has
He has a pretty big schlonger. So I would vote for Alex. I'm highly disappointed he didn't play more. As you said, his shooting always impresses me. He can not play for weeks on end and comes back and still is a consistent
his center
shooter.
that he just got on has a 75 3, right? Yeah, he was shooting 2 for 3 every game.
Yeah, it'll be one of the biggest what ifs in 2K history. What if Alex played more? All right, and also that was to me the hardest award to pick. The other 3 I instantly put.
For 6 man was the hardest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It was
because Chase is good too. Once he got that new build, he's plenty good. Really, what the difference came down to was shooting. Alex can shoot and Chase can't. That was really all it was. Defensive player of the year, I have Devin. My vote is Devin. Because Alex stopped playing, it's not particularly close. Nobody is even in Devin's realm, in my opinion, as a defender. And as his backcourt mate, as his backcourt duo partner, whatever the word is there.
Duo, Kyrie and Luka.
There we go. As his backcourt duo, his other half of the backcourt, it makes my life a lot easier to have such a high-level defender. So thank you, Devin. My vote right now would be for you.
Thank you. So, of course, if I could vote for myself, I'd vote me. But if I can't vote for myself, I'd vote Alex because, like we said, he's just he's all around in the game, and he has a build that is just a pure menace on defense. But
he can guard point guards and centers.
That build 1 through 5. It's insane. But since like we said, he can't play that much. If I were to give it to somebody else because
play that much is different.
No,
does not play
because of game requirements. I'd give it to Ricky.
Yeah.
Just because I think his perimeter defense is the best on the team, but that's about it.
Yeah, I don't agree.
Who do you think it is?
I think that your perimeter defense is the best on the team.
I also bait a lot.
Since we recorded this last night, I've come to, dude, I'm done. I'm done being humble. I've had enough of this shit. I've had enough of this slander. I'm a better defender than Ricky is. I'm better at everything this year than Ricky is, which leads us directly to the MVP / best player. I can't vote for myself, so I would vote for Ricky. But anyone who doesn't vote for me has not been paying attention or is meat riding Ricky to the ultimate degree. I will not stand for it. It's bullshit. And I'm more upset today than I was yesterday.
Okay,
there's not a single thing in the game that you can say Ricky is definitively better than me at. Ricky gets scored on more often than me on defense. Just because he says, oh, bad pass all the time doesn't mean he's a great defender. Ricky, I love you, dude. I love you so much.
Dude, that's so
but
funny.
The slander is such bullshit. When in 2K22, it was between Chase and I knew it was Chase. Because that's the last time we did these awards.
I didn't agree with that ever. I'm sorry, but I'm just going to say this. I never thought Chase was the best player. I think that he played in a center meta game, and his center was just better than everybody else's. Like he plays
just the year by year.
Yeah, but he plays the same now as he used to.
And I guess it's not like who's the best NBA 2K24 player. It is who the best on our rec
Chase
team.
Chase put up crazy numbers. He won MVP.
So who would you have voted that year?
To which one?
It was 22 though.
For MVP?
It would be me then.
22? No, I didn't play with you much. So it'd be Chase for my vote.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm saying, but you're saying you don't agree that it was Chase.
No, that he was the best player, not. Oh my god. Not MVP. There is a big difference. That's just what he did. He did that graphic. He switched them up in here, but he put them together on the graphic.
Dude. Okay. So here's the thing. I know that I'm going to win MVP, and if I don't, I'm finding a new squad because I don't know what else I could possibly do.
Yeah, I have you as my MVP.
But the best player thing, and you're not going to argue with me because you're not going to argue for somebody else.
I'll argue a little bit because we can't call him now.
Dude, there's nothing that you can say Ricky is definitively better
than me. There's not much
at.
You could say you're definitively better.
Definitively better playmaker. I'm a definitively better 3-point shooter.
That's it. Okay, those two are the only two I was gonna say you're definitively better.
And you can't name anything for Ricky, so it's 2-0.
I can.
You can't.
You don't believe it though.
Okay, what?
I think he's definitively a better perimeter defender than you.
False.
He's definitively a better difficult shot maker than you.
False.
Like the mid-range, like the old badge. Like
just because he goes 2 of 10 doesn't mean he's good at them. And I go 1
You're talking about Brandon.
And I go 1 of 2.
From mid-range, the step backs.
Yes, Ricky misses those all the time.
I don't see him miss.
You know what I noticed? So I just rewatched my 63-point game YouTube video, and which, by the way, broke 100 views.
I saw that tweet.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
First
I can't believe that was the first one. I thought it was
another one that's at 98.
Is it one of the transition takes? No. Our first transition takes had a good amount. I thought that was going to be the first.
Yeah, I was hoping so. Anyway, I noticed something that I wanted to cue in on because I said that if you don't think I'm the best player, it's just Ricky dick riding, right? And a good evidence of that, through my 63-point game, one person, and it was Ethan, said anything about how I was going off. Ethan said, "Have a game, black man," is what Ethan said, right? Ricky will hit a spin around jumper and everyone in the party, oh, he's so tough. Oh my
we do the same thing for you. When anybody does something tough, unless it's Brandon, we say that was tough. That was nice.
You don't do that to me. You say literally.
But that's because everybody else is slurping you up. I'm not gonna do it.
Literally in the video, I was like, dude, I'm going off right now, and you said, yeah, you're playing incredibly okay. There's honestly, and we can move on from it because last time we spent a lot of time here. In my opinion, there is not a single valid argument that Ricky is a better player than me this particular year. Okay. It's just not. It's not there.
I wish you played last year. There's a different best player last year.
It was you, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, Ricky disagrees.
Well, of course, Ricky. I understand Ricky saying he's the best. It's kind of the
Micah, Miles Garrett, all that thing.
Yeah, it's like certain players. Let's go with this. Jay Jettas, Tyreek Hill, and CeeDee Lamb. We'll just do that.
Yeah.
If that player's on your team, you should say they're the best receiver in the league because it's all so close. Mm-hmm. Ricky, being Ricky, he's number 2. Of course he should think he's number 1. I completely understand that. But for anyone else to, with a straight face, try to tell me that Ricky's been better than me this year, to me, is a bold-faced lie and shows a lot of dick
There's just
riding.
a difference.
That's just me.
There's a difference in opportunity. A big difference.
There's
in
a
opportunity.
reason. Alex, what do you weigh in? What do you think?
Well, no, we'll get his predictions. Oh yeah, he can come now.
Let me come on.
Yeah. Let's ask your predictions, and then at the very end, you'll weigh in on the MVP thing. Come on.
No, not the MVP thing. The best player. There's a difference.
Numball screen time, baby.
All right, Alex, who do you have as your most improved player? And you played last year, right?
I did play last year.
Okay, who's your most improved player?
It's gonna be Brandon.
So pretty much same reasons.
Same
as
reason. Brandon, you were god awful last year.
Sixth man of the year, you can't vote for yourself.
Can't
so
vote
it's
for
Chase.
myself, and the only other nominee is my boy Chase. So Chase is getting my vote.
Defensive player of the year, again, can't vote for yourself.
Can't vote for myself. I'm gonna go Ricky.
Okay, bro.
No, say your actual
I'm
answer.
going Devin.
Okay.
Say Ethan.
If Ethan gets a single vote for Depoy, I'm burning the awards.
No, I'm talking about MVP and best player. Say Ethan.
I'm definitely burning the awards. All right.
By the way, we will try. Right? You want to make a video?
I want to make a video
of
all of this.
But we'll have more than just these awards.
Right. We're gonna have like best scorer, best passer, all that stuff.
Worst.
Worst player, worst aim, all that.
Worst aim.
Worst aim. MVP, everybody says it's me. You say it's me, right?
It's
okay.
Unanimous.
Best player. Because I already know your opinion, can you please try to help me out on this?
This is
not
fair.
Ridiculous.
This is a 2v1.
It's not a 2v1 because you know Ricky agrees with you. I don't know where Brandon lies.
Can we
on
call
it.
Brandon?
We can try.
Call Brandon.
We're calling Brandon up?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I just want to see his.
And I know Chase agrees with me and him.
If I know Chase does. If Brandon says you, I want you to hang up the phone because I'm not 3v1ing. If he says Ricky, we can keep him on.
And don't say anything MVP, best player. Just say who's the best player.
Who? Why is it hot? I got you.
Okay. Watch him not answer. Yeah.
Hello? Brandon.
What's up?
All right. Not MVP. Who is the best rec player on our team?
It's tough. Obviously, when we're talking to straight 2K, it's easily Ricky. No disrespect, Mason. But
How?
Mason,
Hold up. What
good.
for rec? What'd you say?
For rec, Mason's pretty damn good.
All I care about is rec. I
Is
don't
that,
care about
so you're giving it to Mason?
That's why I said it's tough because I don't know.
No.
I need a name right now.
Okay, I'm gonna go Ricky.
Told you
Ricky
it's
can easily take over a game.
No, we
Told you
can't.
it's not-
So can I. I just dropped 63. Next argument. Next argument.
Not as much. Not as much as Ricky.
Next argument. Yes, I can.
there was a game last
Next
night.
argument.
There was a game last night.
Last night was fucked. We all have bad nights.
Not him.
Yes, he does.
No,
Oh
I'm
my
talking
God.
about last night. I'm talking about last
Oh,
night, not
no.
in general.
Yeah.
I'm talking last night, bad
Right.
games. We all kind of played bad. He didn't. He's the only reason we're in a lot of those games.
Dude, I'm freaking out.
All right, I think he's getting real worked up. We'll
This
talk
is
to you
so
later.
unbelievable, bro.
All right, later.
I literally cannot fathom.
I told you
this.
I'm not the only one.
It's gotten worse since yesterday. I thought, hey, maybe in 24 hours to calm down, you know?
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
I think it's worse because you knew it was coming.
I'm gonna just say this. I've been playing 2K with Mason. He's been my point guard since 2K14.
It's my dog.
I genuinely don't know what more he has to prove.
Thank you. Thank you.
And that, like, no diss to Ricky. You are still absolutely
What else could I
incredible to the
possibly
game.
do?
I have no idea.
It's not really what more you can do, in my opinion. It's more, I just feel he's better.
He's not. I'm done with this.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you for
Thank you,
having me.
Alex. I appreciate
Thank you for coming on.
I appreciate you coming on. I'm going to get drunk at this award thing, and the first person who says Ricky's better than me, I'm going to shoot him. That's what's going to happen. 'Cause I can't, dude, I can't.
Oh my god.
I was bringing up the 2K22 thing, though, because it was either, at least at the time, to my recollection, it was me or Chase. Like those were the only two valid opinions at that time when we did the awards and all that. And I was completely fine with it being Chase because I just knew it wasn't my year. Like any given year could be my year because I'm one of those players who is capable. No offense to Brandon and Ethan, but like they'll never, in my opinion, they'll never even get a vote
For best player?
Right.
You think anybody but them could?
Probably not Alex. Just because of his role. There's only certain roles that could really get it.
Because I
You could.
maybe. I don't know. It's a little different for me.
If there was like a ballot, you'd be my number 3 on the ballot.
Yeah,
like, think of it that way.
But that's
I don't know if
because...
Ethan, if you're putting 3 on a ballot, I don't think Brandon, Ethan, or Alex would ever be on a ballot.
I guess that's fair.
Unless the roles change.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
So as a person who will consistently be on ballots, I think, right? There might be a year where I won't be, but usually year in year out I'll be on a ballot.
We know the first 2 names on every ballot every year.
What, me and Rick?
Yes.
Okay. But like I was perfectly fine with the fact that hey, this wasn't my year, this was Chase's. This simply isn't Ricky's year. And like it truly baffles me that not only one person but 2 people hold that opinion. We're gonna move on.
Do you know Ethan's opinion?
No, I don't know Ethan's opinion. It's probably Ricky.
I don't know. Ethan might just say Chase.
I give I give Ethan a lot of shit. Like out of spite, it's probably Ricky, which is perfectly fine. Yeah. I think Ethan's the worst player on the team.
Okay.
So I would understand why he wouldn't vote for me. You and Brandon, it baffles me. We're going to have ourselves a little bonus game of start, bench, cut. Devin is going to name me some players, and I'm going to decide who I want to start, who I want to bench, and who I want to cut.
Bro, it just started scrolling on its own. All right.
I have a ghost in here.
Okay.
The ghost of bad takes past saying Ricky's better than me. Okay. What's the first one?
We have a few NFL, a few NBA, more NBA. So
Okay.
First names, Trae Young, Tyrese Halliburton, and De'Aaron Fox. And I will say, for most of these, there is right and wrong answers.
There's right and wrong answers.
Yes.
All right, let's see if I can pass the quiz. How many questions are there?
7.
7. So in order to pass, I need 5?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm starting Tyrese. I am benching Fox, and I'm cutting Young. Young can't defend.
You're 1 for 1. Now, Trae Young, I think, is the best offensive player there.
Probably like highest upside.
Yeah, but I think that his team is better without him this year. He can't defend. He's a big, he performs when you need him to, but it's just, will he even get you there at that point?
Right. So, really quick before we move on to the next one, Alex, can we get a score update for the Mavs game?
Yeah, let me get it up here. 9 minutes left in the fourth, and it's 105-78.
Ouch.
Oh, so it's about the same score as the last 20 minutes.
Yeah. All right, next question.
Desmond Bain, Tyler Hero, CJ McCollum. And then remember, this is all including age and contract. If you have any questions about those, ask. I'll give you a range.
Okay. I would start Hero, bench Bain, and cut McCollum. I would cut McCollum because of his age.
Yeah, you're 2 for 2.
Look at that.
There's an argument, though, for Bain over Hero. I just take Hero because I'm a Heat fan.
I take Hero because I think his shot creation is a little bit better.
Okay. Next name. Tatum, Kawhi, and Jimmy.
I would start Tatum, bench Jimmy, and cut Kawhi.
Okay. I don't know what to give you.
And I would cut Kawhi simply because whether he plays 70 games in the year or not, in the playoffs, I'm going to be losing my first or second best player because he's always hurt.
Yeah, that's why I'm hesitant to tell you you're wrong. I think Kawhi is better than Jimmy, but Jimmy's played the last 5 playoffs other than this one.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's gotten his team to the finals twice with lackluster talent.
I'll give you 3 for 3 just because Kawhi doesn't play in the playoffs.
Kawhi struggles to get out of the first round with overwhelming talent.
Next names. Aaron Gordon, Julius Randle, Evan Mobley.
Okay, so I'm cutting Randle. I hate Randle very much. And I'm only going to start Gordon over Mobley because I haven't watched Mobley play at all. I had no interest in Celtics versus Cavs, and the Nuggets were in one of my favorite series of the playoffs, plus they made the finals last year. I've watched a lot of Aaron Gordon basketball, and I haven't watched Mobley.
So knowing that age and everything, you got the names right, just not in the right order. So I would take Mobley over Aaron Gordon simply because he's younger. He's already a better defender. He's a better rebounder. And
Gordon's still an elite defender, though.
Yeah, but
and he's a slightly better shooter.
Yes, shooting, he puts up more volume, I think, than Mobley. Mobley did show some three-point shooting ability this year, but it's a toss-up with those two. I just think the age, I'll take Mobley. Like, he was already in top 3 in DPOY last year.
Yeah.
So I'll take Mobley, but those two are interchangeable.
Yeah, like I said, honestly, it's not because I hold a strong opinion. It's more of an ignorance.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really know. So,
all right. Next, we're going to go to Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase.
I'm starting Jettas.
Easy. If you do anything else, you don't watch football and your take is invalid.
Yeah, for sure. Chase and Hill is tough. Hill's older. Hill's expensive. Chase is about to be expensive.
Yeah. If age was out of this, it's Hill easily, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would take Hill still simply because I think he's the most dangerous offensive weapon in NFL history. His speed is undefendable.
And it's not even just the speed, too. He can run routes. He can go get 50-50 balls.
Right.
He can run the football now.
I mean, when you make Tua look like an elite quarterback, you're doing something right. Because Tua's not an elite quarterback.
Mike McDaniel and Tyreek Hill carry Tua.
Yes.
If they pay Tua, by the way, they're throwing
I don't
fire.
know if they can, dude. I saw something today. Of the top 5 most guaranteed money given out to receivers, the Dolphins have 2 of them. Or top 6.
Yeah, I think they have to trade Waddle.
It's crazy, but they just re-signed him.
Yeah,
they just gave him a contract
really
today.
Matter.
That's so insane.
But yeah. Oh, they gave him today? I didn't see it. How long is it?
3 years with $76 million guaranteed. I don't remember the exact 3 years for what, but $76 million of it was guaranteed.
That's not as bad as I thought. They got ahead of it.
CeeDee Lamb just got more expensive.
They got ahead of it, unlike the Cowboys.
Freaking God, I hate them. Notice I haven't worn a Cowboys hat. Well, this is the first time I've worn a hat on this show, but it's not a Cowboys hat, and there's a reason.
Next 3. Micah Parsons, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt.
That's a really, really hard one. And I almost kind of spoiled this earlier.
Yeah.
When you have one of the arguably best defensive players or best receivers, running backs, yada, yada, if he's on your team, you should always think he's the best. So I would start Micah. And then TJ and Garrett is so tough. And the fact that they're in the same division, I feel bad for AFC North quarterbacks.
I'm glad I don't get this question because none of these are my favorite teams. I would not be able to answer this question.
I would take Garrett only because of Watt's injury risk. If it wasn't for that, man, I don't know if you can actually answer that question. Yeah. That is so incredibly tough.
Okay, last one. Sabonis, Bam, Anthony Davis.
Starting Anthony Davis, benching Bam, and cutting Sabonis.
Oh. Wait, so who should have been the All-NBA last guy? Should Sabonis have been an All-NBA player in your eyes?
Was Bam not?
No.
Then no.
I don't know if any of them really should have, but I don't think
AD was.
Yeah.
AD was second team.
I don't see how now I at the time do think that he did deserve it, Sabonis, but after seeing that Bam was top 3 in DPOY, first team all defense, and an all-star, and Sabonis was none of those, and the other made the All-NBA team. That's just the criteria for All-NBA team throws me off sometimes.
Yeah, it's really, really weird.
But
the NBA voting thing is weird. Even the amount of people who vote on it is weird. Like, you would think, how many do you think vote on it? Because I know the answer.
Oh, it's like a crazy, it's a weird number. Is it over 20 or no?
Yes.
Is it like it's 57 or something
no,
stupid?
You're on the right thinking
I know
lines. It's 99.
Yeah, it's like a dumb.
It's why is it not 100?
Well, because they don't want anything to be even.
I guess that's fair. Oh, that's actually a really good, valid point.
That's why. I just thought it was more of an obscure number.
No, it's 99.
But you passed. I'd probably give you A- today.
A-?
Yeah.
I give myself an A+ simply for the best player thing.
Okay.
I want to get back to that. No, I genuinely don't. Because I'm genuinely, I'm not putting on a show for the camera. I'm genuinely.
Yeah, I know.
I'm befuddled.
I know.
I'm astonished.
Well, I know your exact feeling because I've had people argue the DPOY award.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get a vote from Ricky anymore because you held the guy to 0 for 7. What the hell is that?
I'm gonna let him vote for you, bro. I was just messing with.
Well, yeah, I know it was just like, bro.
But he was
come
0 of 7
on.
with 6 turnovers.
I've done way worse to people.
It was funny because at the beginning of that game, the guy Ricky was guarding averaged like 6 points. So I was like, Ricky, you better hold him to 0, bro, and I'll vote for you for Depoy. Like, I gave him the offer, and he's like, all right, bet. And then the guy scored like 6 or 7 or something like that.
His average.
Like his average. But after he scored his first one, I was like, all right, I'll put the over or under at 4.5, Ricky. And then he broke it again. And once he broke it, I was like, holy shit, my guy hasn't scored. You know what, Ricky, if I hold him to no points, you got to vote for me.
I'm gonna start
and then it just so happened to happen.
Although last night was not a good look.
It was not a good look for you.
It was not a good look.
Although in all fairness, it wasn't a good look for me either.
Yeah. Well,
last night was rough.
I'm talking offense and defense. Like, I was getting dropped, honestly.
It was a really, really... The only shot I could consistently hit last night was the drive into the paint, roll out.
The Ricky Year?
No, I'm not calling it that anymore. I'm not calling it that no more. It's
he names a shot after Ricky Year because he stole it from Ricky.
I'm not...
He stole it from the best player.
He's not... I will pick up this chair and throw it at you.
But... I think the only shot I could consistently hit last night was like the baseline pull up.
Yeah.
But hopefully tonight's better. Maybe you guys get a video out just tonight. Maybe you'll see some argument going on best player.
I need to get in the lab. I'm gonna start just.
Hey. So also,
I'm gonna start playing like Ricky. I don't pass.
There's one thing definitively that I did forget to name that he can do better than you.
Oh God. No, don't say it. You taught me how to do it.
You did a step back last night. He tried to do it and did a step back. Yes. He cannot time dunks. He can't get the meter to pop up.
I know, bro.
I taught him how to do it. We get on last night. He does a step back.
You taught me like 3 hours earlier, so it was like a long time.
It's a simple flick up, hold down. It's a simple mechanic.
I flipped down, held up.
No way.
No, I didn't. I didn't. Well, yeah. No, I can't do that. See, I'm a humble king. I can admit when I can't do stuff.
I think most of us can.
Not Ricky.
What does he say he can do?
Be better than me.
Okay.
That's too easy. You didn't hear that. You didn't see that coming.
No, I did.
All right. All jokes aside, I think I'm gonna win MVP. So I'll just take it and stop whining about it.
You're gonna be Joel Embiid.
Yeah, everybody's entitled to their own opinions, and I respect everyone's opinion.
No, you don't.
No, I don't. It's actually an invalid opinion. I'm lying, dude. It actually is insane that you guys think that. Irregardless, at the end of the day, we're all just a bunch of friends playing a video game that we all mostly hate, but have some fun playing together.
No, we don't.
Yeah, that's true. But thanks for watching anyway.
Yeah.
I had fun recording it, even if it is the second time that we did it.
Still got some laughs out. Still got some clips that you can maybe post because you get pissed.
Dude, the one where Brandon said, I don't know what he said, but I said, no, he doesn't.
No, it was me.
Oh, it was you?
Because you said last night about the bad games. Yeah.
Said, no, he did. I was, yes, he has. Yeah, no, I remember that.
Yeah, I was more talking the night, not the whole time.
I think I might have popped a blood vessel on that one. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, subscribe, turn the notifications on. We will be back next Thursday. We will be uploading at 2 o'clock, which is before the NBA Finals Game 1 starts. So most of that show will focus on the finals. We'll look at a bunch of different aspects of that series and how we think it's going to turn out. Devin, you have any last words?
Yeah, one more thing. So last episode that we recorded, we did, instead of Brandon on the phone, we had Ricky, but he could not get on the phone tonight. So I would like to say, because I need Brandon to hear this, you know how you asked Ricky his final words before he leaves the podcast?
Yeah.
Brandon, Ricky would like your mom's phone number.
With that, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Enjoy hoops and sports. It brings us all closer together, and that's the best thing about it. So y'all stay blessed. Y'all have a great week. I love y'all.
Peace.